So here we are for the deciding match between Torano and Talisman. It's game 3 and now we're on Faymonville approach. Torano, as the Soviets, has armored assault, shock rifle frontline, and guard rifle combined arms. Talisman as OKW. Once again has scavenge, special operations, and Luftwaffe ground forces. Oh, this is unconventional already for Talisman, going for a Kubel. This is quite a small map as well. I feel like this is one of the worst maps for getting a Kubel. Perhaps he's going to mix up his strategy here. Going on the offensive, running straight at the fuel point. Conscripts trying to soft retreat, having to cross the road, taking quite a lot of damage as they backpedal. Torano once again a little bit late making his next unit. Yeah, about 60 manpower late. I mean, it doesn't really matter in the late game, but in the early game, you can't really afford inefficiencies like that. Every second is so crucial in those early stages. He's come around the side to try and avoid the Stern Pioneers, try and engage opportunities 2v1, but Stern Pioneers still nearby. And gonna have to retreat quite early to avoid getting wiped by the Stern Pioneers on retreat. Here they come now to contribute. Forcing the retreats, but no wipe. And the Talisman going for the kind of strategy, going aggressive with his infantry and then trying to use the Kubel for capping on the other side of the map. We've seen that from quite a few players. Works very well on Kolodny Firma especially, seems to. But Talisman making it work pretty well so far. But yeah, I mean, this is a big deviation for Talisman. I don't think I've seen him use anything but 4 Volksfrieders the entire tournament. So, bit of a surprise there. Torano with the 4 conscripts. It's a pretty standard for him as well. However, he has got off to a slow start this time, whereas other times he's got off to pretty good starts generally, so let's see how he goes about making a comeback.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
We'll have to fight it out here for the fuel. Getting the cutoff though, so that's nice. Perhaps didn't dedicate quite enough squads to this battle. We'll see how it plays out. Kubel going for the cutoff. Common engineers were kind of running around doing nothing. Needs to get them into combat. The flamethrower upgrading, so they are needed. Flamethrower pops. Stern Pioneers running for the conscripts though. Who's going to win this one? Ooh, looks like he rallied a move command there instead of a attack command, and somehow flamethrower burst just doesn't go off there. Talisman kind of juking back and forth, not allowing the flamethrower burst to fly out of the flamethrower. I don't think I've seen that before, but it worked pretty well. Nice little trick. And Torano is without fuel. He's again dash with this low health conscript. Gather that one. It's gone for medics now. And into tier 2. With shock rifle frontline. Once more. These conscripts here move over a little bit to help contribute in the fight, pushing away the Kubel. Nice work. Kubel's going to try and stick around and stop the capture there. Putting down some sandbags now as well. Oh, you don't want to be putting up sandbags whilst you're taking fire like that. It's a lot of damage. Now Kubel's going to charge in and prevent the capture. Nice maneuvering there by Talisman. Torano's making a push on the other side though. Talisman really wants to get that sandbag down, but Torano denying him the opportunity. Talisman has started his, or completed his tech. He's gone for battle group. As I said, I think battle group is pretty effective against those 4 conscript strategies. Seems to be not quite as good against PTRS at the moment.
On the line.
And Torano going for a ZIS, very early ZIS. Perhaps respecting the threat of the light vehicle, but all it's going to have to shoot at is the Kubel. Talisman, as of yet, has not gone for flak half track, and because he's gone for 4 faults as well as the Kubel, it does slow down your light vehicle typically. That's why he doesn't have enough manpower for it currently. But Torano probably doesn't know that. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between 3 faults and 4 faults unless you see them fighting all at the same time. It'd be hard to determine. Just misses its first shot. That's unfortunate. Incendiary grenade goes in and let's just get out of there pretty quickly. Oh, Stern Pioneers. Oh, bit of an ambush there. Doing some good damage. It's going to have to retreat those Stern Pioneers for sure. He's used the merge here. Merge, merge, merge. Oh! Okay. Gotta make use of the merge. Keep that flamethrower on the field. No, he just retreats it. No, it's a waste of opportunity. If he merged into that with this squad, been really nice. Now he's getting pushed over here. Torano's really struggling to hold on to fuel right now. Like, I don't blame him for getting the ZIS, but a Maxim in this situation would be so much more useful. No AT grenades yet from Torano. He's floating quite a lot of manpower once more. He's actually got quite a lot of fuel. But he needs to spend his resources. Seems to be a bit of a pattern with him. Seems to have a bad habit of floating a little bit too much in situations. Now he's sitting in this squad, just unsupported. Oh, that's what he's doing. He's saving up for shock troops. Now very expensive. He seems to have a bit of an affinity for the shock troop, but they haven't been serving them too well. I still feel like the Maxim would be a better choice. It looks like Talisman is going to just go straight past getting a light vehicle. He's already had such a strong game. Going to go for a fast tier 4. You put it down here, locks down this fuel. Really makes your opponent's movements very, very tricky. Torano does have a ZIS, which can sometimes be used to push the tech truck, but doesn't have a machine gun to protect the ZIS, so I don't think that's likely to happen. Now, this is the exact situation shock troops are perfect for, shredding in close range. And he might actually spot this tier 4 going down. He's running straight over there. And Talisman's forced to cancel it. Cancelled it very early. So wouldn't have lost almost any resources, just basically the cost of the truck. And there we go, nice use of merge finally from Torano. Conscript's getting close in by both sides. Got to get out of there, otherwise he's going to lose them both. A lot of manpower. Troops just sitting out here. The thing with shock troops is they have very steep drop off with the SMGs. Really have to be right on top of the squad to be doing damage. Just stalling here. You see he's barely tickling that squad. He did dive onto this cutoff, but it looks like it's actually not cutting off thanks to this line of territory. And Sternpine is charging forwards. Could get the white pair. There it goes. Infiltration raids and STG follow up. Things are not looking good for Torano. Rebuilding that conscript, I think that is a huge mistake. Just a monumental mistake. Conscripts, you know, when they don't have the weapon upgrade, they just drop off so steeply. Really only useful for anti-tank grenades. 3, I think, is sufficient for anti-tank grenades. Should get a maximum. So at the moment what he's lacking is long range. And what a Maxim can do is fire at long range, suppress squads, make up for his current lack of long range firepower. Also, you know, stop assaulting blobs. And lock down territory sectors. Pretty much everything he needs to do right now. Good reactions by Talisman, getting out of the heavy cover quickly, kind of backpedaling while he waits for more squads to arrive to focus fire down that flamethrower squad. Really nice control of the engagement there from Talisman. He's trying to just get some cheeky shots and hopefully he'll snipe a model, but it hasn't worked out so far. Okay, finally gets a Maxim now. So late. Anyway, tier 4 has gone down for Talisman. This time on the other side of the map, just covering that standard territory point right on the base. Very safe position. Ooh. Conscript's just getting shredded here by the Vet 2 STG folks. It's only going to get worse for them, really. Well, it's never going to get better for them. Shock troops out there on negative cover, so with the overs. At the moment, Torano just getting chased away. Just doesn't have very good firepower. Just his units not matching up very well against Talisman's units, thanks to their weapon upgrades. Machine gun though, sitting up in that central building, that can be a real pain to dislodge. Focusing down that flamethrower, has to retreat it. Shock troops sitting there a little bit idle. Actually retreats them. That's a bit of a surprise. He might try to move them over to help in this engagement, because he really needs a fuel point. Well, I say that he really needs a fuel point, but the way that he's playing makes me think he's going to go straight for an IS-2. Ooh, that was a huge hit, and he gets the white from it. That's the difference that this barrage can make. Still not going to be able to secure the fuel though.
The enemy now have 200 points.
Look how much damage he takes closing in on those Stern Pioneers. Almost 2v1 him there. Might have been better to oorah in there actually, now that I think about it. It's not like he's particularly strapped for munitions. Ooh, he suppresses them just before they round the corner. But another squad coming in from the middle. These supporting squads to prevent the flank. Oh, he's got no munitions for infiltration grenades. Incendiary grenade goes onto the Maxim. Also into backpedal. Shock troops might come out of suppression, and they do. Trying to backpedal again. Nice. Get out of that maximum arc and go and try to fight from this light cover position. Troops get 2 models there, but still look at the map control situation with Torano, quite grim. Oh, bad time to get back in the building. Incendiary grenade right there. It's out there before it does too much damage. Oh, but these combat engineers just can't capture the fuel. This is there. Can't get a second shot in. And that Kubel remaining a thorn in Torano's side. Talisman's been really good preserving that. Keeping it relevant even into quite a late period of the game. And you might have heard it. Panzer IV in the field. Torano probably also heard it. It's gone for a second ZIS. He's going to need it. I feel like he perhaps needs to concentrate more on pushing, just like holding on to one side. Instead of constantly trying to push both sides. Seems like he's kind of running into Talisman, who has superior cover positions, and the engagements just aren't really working out too well for him. And this way, if he focuses on one side more, his team weapons will be able to defend the area much more effectively. Trash grenades into the retreat. Pretty good execution. Oh, but the double ZIS coming in. You really have to be careful with a medium tank against double AT guns. Oh, concussive grenade. We're going to turn that engagement around into the Stern Pioneer's favour now. Yes, retreat. Did those infiltration grenades even go off, or did you try to cancel them, maybe? That's the thing with infiltration grenades, you can't cancel them once you start them up. Otherwise they'd be really broken. You could just threaten to throw them and then cancel them. Much worse than any other grenade cancel. It'd be much more annoying. Oh, similar thing with Torano for the ZIS barrage. Very hard to cancel the ZIS barrage. Quite often cancelling it leads it to bug out, so do not recommend cancelling it. But yeah, now Torano on the back of his double AT guns, you know, kind of focusing more on the southern side, having a lot more success down there. Just kind of sending his shock troops around to the north. I think that's a fair call. As long as the Panzer IV's not up here, just kind of a pretty good spot of the map for the shock troops. You know, quite a few little corners of shot blockers they can ambush units behind. I think that's a pretty effective use, and he's going for the VPs because Torano has been really struggling to hold on to the VPs. Already down to 176. Talisman's got sandbags up as well in all the right places. Oh, those shock troops are pretty clumped. Lucky P4 shot could have taken out a whole bunch of them there. He's used that ZIS barrage. You know, he's got quite a lot of munitions. I'm not sure why he's not being a little bit more liberal with the usage of them. Still no anti-tank grenades as well, which is very slack. How does he expect to kill that Panzer IV without AT grenades? It's a bit reckless. Okay, Talisman pushing in. Where's that Maxim? Rotating around now. Oh, but it's perhaps going to get flanked a little bit here. Indeed it is. These squads coming up from the south. But Maxim gets forced to retreat. Oh, nice ZIS barrage there. Runs past it. Conscripts need to get over here and help this ZIS P4 not swooping in though. So this should be alright. But, you know, if the Panzer IV was like right there, it could have wiped that Zis and perhaps even destroyed it. Especially because he doesn't have the AT grenades. And then, oh, that was nasty. That was really nasty. Torano didn't need that at all there. Let's take Molotovs. Almost loses the second conscript there. I suppose that would be the third of the game, but second one in recent times. Second over squad for Talisman, wow. I'm surprised he doesn't get a machine gun himself. Torano has now hit 13 CPs, well past it, so he's trying to conserve his manpower, go for the IS-2, which is going to give Talisman's current composition some headaches. He does have a kid, I don't think he's planted many mines, however. Oh, this is prime bundle grenade target. Oh, but he doesn't have the munitions for it. Being quite liberal with his usage of infiltration grenades, and they are very cost effective. Here comes the big boy, the IS-2. So he's heading towards the Kubel. Oh, Maxim setting up in the wrong direction, but shock troops there to defend. If he retreats it, should be fine. He's not retreating it. Still not retreating it. IS-2 looks like it's going to kill the Kubel. Shock troops, oh, taking a lot of damage. Just outgunned, outnumbered. Torano losing control of his fuel once again, and the center. Torano, really, maybe I understand a little bit why he doesn't use Maxims, because his Maxim positioning so far has been pretty poor. Constantly getting it flanked. Kidden is there, oh, and it penetrates too. Damaged engine now for the IS-2. Look at those double Zis, they got forced back. So Panzer IV's getting aggressive. Still no AT grenades. Conscript's really trying to get into the point to capture because he's so low on VPs, but he's gonna need a lot of manpower in the process. So he's just going to get the neutralized and then retreat. But that was costly. 80 manpower to neutralize that VP. And here comes the Command Panther. So IS-2 didn't have a very long period of dominance here. Also only got one engineer, and it's currently in the north, so IS-2 not repaired. And not looking like it's going to be repaired for some time. No, he's decided I can't capture that, I have to repair up my tank, and I think that's the right decision. So Torano, he's behind, but if his support weapon positioning is good, he can knock out one of these tanks and turn the game around. But no, sending a machine gun to the far end like this, I don't really like it that much. Needs it to defend these Zis. Does this go off there? One penetrates. Still no AT grenades, so I'm gonna keep mentioning it. I think Torano was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna run my conscripts forward an AT grenade. Oh, I don't even have them. I don't think he even noticed until right then. Bit of an oversight. Standpoint is a Vet 4, wow. That's why they're cutting through those shock troops so easily before. Shock troops having trouble finding spots to get used, and this is what I was talking about. This is why I don't like sending the machine gun down to the south. Just infantry squads running through the middle, harassing those Zis. This is a nightmare scenario. Seems to be Torano's weakness, his machine gun positioning. what did it even do down here? Captured a point and got forced to retreat. Could have seen an infantry squad down there. Shock troops down there even. Nice two in here trying to do some damage, not firing very accurately. Kitten creeped into position, getting some shots in. Okay, he's finally got AT grenades now. Levels this back for healing though, so can't really contribute. Panzer IV hiding behind this house as well to avoid the Zis shots. Those two coming in on low health. I don't think there was a full damage shot there. Oh, engine damage on the Panther. That's good news for Torano. Going to slow the Talisman down. Now the IS-2 to get some good damage in. Oh, and he avoids the concussive grenades. The shock troops, that's nice. Torano struggling to reinforce all his units. His engagements have just been so manpower inefficient. Oh, and he's sending units to the north again. This is so frustrating to see. This is not the time to be branching out. You need that machine gun to defend your anti-tank guns to stop this exact scenario. Man, this Rakitten's having a really good day. Everything connecting and everything penetrating so far, it seems. Ooh. There's two going after these Obers. Obers going after the Zis. Doesn't quite get the kill, but Obers are pretty expensive to reinforce, so that's good news at the least. Yeah, now shock troops have, got some capping done down here. They have to retreat from the Panzer IV, but just the VPs aren't draining. Thing is though, Talisman's had such good fuel control, even if he loses one of these tanks now, he'll be able to rebuild it pretty quickly after it. Talisman's tanks up to full. At this stage he could consider going for his final tech structure just for repairs. So he's approaching his supply limit. He's got a second Rakitten for a little bit more anti-tank firepower though. Oh, nice Molotov right onto the doorway. It's quite a lot of damage onto the Obers. Doesn't end up winning the engagement because of it, but still a nice idea, a nice execution. These conscripts just can't hold their own. Okay, but he wins in the south. Oh, but he lost the squad of conscripts up here. Oh, that's a real disaster for Torano. He's rebuilding the conscripts. This is a situation where I think you can rebuild conscripts. I feel like 3 is a good number to have them available for snares. Oh, nice! Point blank shot clears out the Rakitten there. Second Rakitten is nearby, so he doesn't want to stick around too long. It would be nice if he could destroy that, and he is doing that. Maxim about facing. But one of the Zis gets decrewed. Shock troops coming in. Trash grenades on the Maxim, doing a lot of damage, almost clearing it out. Where's that second Zis at? It's killed the Rakitten. But the Maxim also has gone down. Don't want to recrew a machine gun with your shock troops, so just try and stand guard. Conscript's kind of running into the Panzer IV there. Need to be running to try and recrew these team weapons though. They're going to duke it out with the IS-2. Maxim doing its best preventing the overs, but looks like he's come around the side and there's not enough here to stop them. Needs those shock troops there. Looks like it's going to get decrewed once more. Not quite. Oh, this is so clumped up though. That's why he hit retreat there. He was worried about getting wiped by the IS-2's massive cannon. Come on, Panther hasn't really been that impressive so far. That's too nearly Vet 2. So it starts to become a lot better. The extra 10 range really helps. It's the Command Panther, which usually would have 10 range advantage, but yeah, once you get to Vet 2, that's when the IS-2 can fight back really effectively. And it used to be, you know, when Panther got Vet 2 again, well, it used to have more armor stock, and then it would also still gain 10% armor. So basically, the Panther used to be a lot better at Vet 2. So I feel like this matchup now is more in the IS-2's favour, which is why we're seeing the IS-2 a lot more now. This Panther changes have been kind of good for the stock Panther, but not so good for the Command Panther. Still doing some really good damage. Struggling for repairs though with just that one combat engineer. Just struggling to hold on to territory on the flanks. Torano still battling over the fuel even though he doesn't really need it. Doesn't seem like he's going to tick up. Doesn't really have the manpower to do so. Talisman's also got a pretty large fuel surplus. So the fuel pretty much irrelevant for both players at the moment. Just got to worry about those VPs. I'm surprised that Talisman hasn't actually got a repair station yet though. Overs knock out. That is this. Let's get an AT grenade in. Ooh, nice hit by the IS-2 though. Just knocks out the overs. Conscripts here, 3 men. Yeah, I'm gonna recrew that Zis. That's why it's so nice to have those 6-man squads. So good for recrewing team weapons, even if they've taken a little bit of damage earlier. Still have enough men to recrew them. Panther pushes forwards. Rakidin is there as well though. IS-2 not even bothering to shoot at the Command Panther. Gonna leave that to the Zis. He's gonna shoot at other targets. Try to clear them out. Does a pretty good job, but Talisman keeping this Kubel relevant, getting onto that VP, and he's actually, this wall here has been destroyed, it looks like, so path of Kubel to come to this is a lot more clean than it usually would be. IS-2 heading to the south, but it was boosting it out of there. Too fast. Oh, this used to be negative cover.
Push your attack. They are down to 50 points.
As you heard the announcer, 50 points left for Torano. He's hanging on. But it seems like he hasn't really got any crucial squad wipes for a very long time. Knocked out that one Falk early and then Kitten later on, but that's been it. Because I think he's lost 3 conscripts now. Yeah. As well as, I feel like, yeah, the KD as well. We can probably take a look at that. Oh, look at that massive KD. Usually as Soviets you will have a worse KD. Just due to their nature, but don't want to be getting outpointed almost 2 to 1. Both ZIS being left on regular fire here, but it kind of does expose their positioning, and that's allowing these 2 Panzer IVs to come in on the side where they're not facing and flanking this quite effectively. Command Panther's there, second ZIS doesn't know where to face. Looks like this one's going to get decrewed. Command Panther pushing in, ZIS finally facing towards the Command Panther. Kitten's sneaking up as well. Torano just in a state of disarray here. Doesn't know which way to face. Oh, and unfortunate timing with the conscript AT grenade. No engine damage because of it. And he might have even been able to get the kill there if he got the engine damage in, but wasn't the case. Oh. IS-2, it's being brought into service. He needs that. Otherwise he can't deal with these Panzer IVs in the south. I think he's going to go for the kill on this one. It needs 2 more hits though to get the kill. Oh, and that's unfortunate. Panzer IV penetrates. Other one on the rear armor. Sorry about that alarm. And that is just a disaster scenario for Torano, losing his IS-2. It was really highly vetted. He went in for the kill on P4, doesn't even get it either. Just further rubbing salt in the wounds. And that is why most people leave their anti-tank guns on prioritized vehicles. That way they won't shoot at infantry, won't reveal their positions, and then your opponent won't be able to flank them so easily like what we saw happen there. That's what I do. So, as you can see, well, I suppose you can't really tell which infantry kills are from the barrage and which are from just random shots. But yeah, a bit of a cautionary tale as to why you generally shouldn't leave your AT guns on regular fire, should leave it on prioritized vehicles. Another reason, of course, is that if they waste a shot at infantry, which could have shot at a tank, that could be crucial to winning the engagement. Speed this up a little bit because that alarm means I need to go get my things out of the oven. TVP's remaining. Panther's already back up to full, finally getting down this tech truck. And is well overdue for the repairs. Better late than never. So he's making a push into the middle. Nice roll of the dice, trying to conserve his manpower, get up for another IS-2. Oh, clutch dodge. But he can't secure that central VP. There's another squad there going for a Molotov, just running in low health. The IS-2's finally going to come in, but it's too late. Torano. I think overall, you know, it's quite nice to see that shock troops, but they weren't very effective. His machine gun positioning was just diabolically bad this game. Other than that, though, he played pretty well. He got desperate there going for that P4 kill and kind of backfired on him. But Talisman overall, very, very strong play, and especially in the early game, controlled double fuel for an extended period of time. Really worked out well for him. I'll wrap on that, guys. If you like, you're going to be cast by me. Details in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.